Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of Dwarf Fortress and So Can You. In this episode we're going to go over control schemes, basic layouts of Dwarf Fortress, and maybe we'll get into a little bit of gameplay. Now it is important to note that this is the screen I get right after I pressed enter on the last screen, and so I'm going to run you over a quick kind of what the in-game is all about. So in this screen, in this right hand column, we have the mini map. This one we have the menus, and this one we have the game screen. You can resize all of these screens to presets by pressing tab. The mini map isn't very useful. On this side is the main game screen, and you can see each is a tile here. Here is represented, each one of these is a 10 by 10 tile section. And when you move your cursor, it again jumps 10 tiles. So we're going to get rid of that, pressing tab and tab again. This is generally the view I like to have. It gives lots of room for menus. This one is if you have all the menus memorized and you want a full screen Dwarf Fortress, but that's not too often. And then the other one is this one, if you like your menus, or if you have an add-on or something. Here are a modification of the game. Again, this is the layout I like to use. It's simple and effective. To move around, again, you just use your cursor keys. I think it's jumping by five at a time now. Let me just quickly explain to you what everything is. This can be a little bit overwhelming. These are all tiles, and in each tile you can have things like stones, rings, barrels, dwarfs, animals. Pretty much everything only takes up one tile, which can be a little bit strange, especially for larger things like dragons that are clearly multiple dwarfs of size. And I'm just going to show you what everything is. These ones are our dwarfs in this tile set, and our other tile sets that look different. Each tile set is just exactly that, a tile set, a different tile for each thing. In the default tile set, without the Phobius tile set, everything is in ASCII, everything's a colored symbol that you would find in Unicode. So it can be very difficult to see. So I've chosen this one as it's soft on the eyes and fairly easy to distinguish. So these are our dwarfs. These are the animals that came with, and this is our arrival wagon. So to look around, we're going to hit K for look, and this will bring up this cursor on this in this field area here. And so you can see in the top right here, there is a description, and we can move around this cursor and take a look. There's different kinds of grass, and there's some sand, and then there's some slopes. There's also some shrubs and trees. Birch, there's a chestnut tree here, a birch tree here, and then another shrub over here. You can also focus on the workers, the animals. K is good if you want to investigate and figure out what kind of ores and what kind of ore you're about to mine, that sort of thing. To view a unit, you're going to hit V, the view unit, and whatever your cursor is closest to will be the unit you're selected. See, we've got Diller Ubalzang Stoneworker, and he's closest. Our cursor here, but he's here because he's the closest unit, and you can see he's got all the different, his skill sets here are described in his unit characteristics. He's a competent engraver, competent mason, adequate mechanic, adequate building designer, so he knows some stuff. So those, and you can see units, view units, also does animals and baddies. So this is stray horse, tame. You've got all these sorts of lists here. I'm going to go over the dwarf. You've got C for combat, toggles his eligibility for combat, B for labor, C for combat, C for combat lets you view his combat skills, B toggles his labor skills, and miscellaneous is his other skills. So if we go over to Deller, we can see he's adequate building designer, which will disappear, or I guess not, when we toggle misc. I thought it was a misc ability, but I am mistaken. So this is the wagon that we've embarked with. I should explain Z levels or C levels right now. Each view in Dwarf Fortress is a cross-sectional view of a certain Z level. In the top right, this represents your center cursor, how far away it is from the surface. So 0 means you're right on the surface, and there's negative numbers. What you usually be in designates how far away from the surface you are, and green numbers how far off of the surface you are. This number here can also turn negative, is the current slice you are from, I guess, what would be considered the 0 level. Dwarf Fortress, we'll get to the 0 level and things like that a little bit later. But we've got layer 138 we've spawned on, and we're on the surface here. If you ever get lost, if you go exploring over here, you can always hit F1 and it'll bring you back to your wagon. And you can see the black is unexplored. It represents as unexplored solid. Give me a second here. Unexplored solid. So as you can see, this is the wall. This is solid. These triangles, whether up or down, represent a slope. So the upward facing triangles represent an upward slope, and the downward facing triangles represent a downward slope. So I'm going to press the greater than key, and we're going to go up a Z level. As you can see, these represent what's solid on the Z level below you, and empty space means that there isn't anything until at least 2 Z levels below you. As you can see, we are, when we go to the surface here and we go up, we are 1 away from the surface, we are 2 away from the surface, 3, etc. And so you can kind of get an idea of where we're spawned by going and taking a look up here. This looks like the surface of kind of the home we'll be staying in. This is second level, and you can see kind of how it expands. If you can imagine, this is the very top level, and you take a cross section down and another cross section down, and we're over here. When you're looking around, like with K for look, you can hold shift, and whenever you tap the arrow key, it will move over exactly 10 tiles, and so that's quite useful for that. And how Z levels work is, you can imagine each tile, you can see, if we take a look at this tile here, it has something above it, and this is the Z level it's on, and then there's something below it as well. So each Z level tile has a ceiling and a floor and the middle level. So in the designation menu for mine, when we have mine, it empties out the current level, leaving the ceiling and floor intact. Now keep in mind, this tile's floor here, or let's go over here. This tile's floor is also this tile's ceiling. So we have the designation channel. It removes the floor as well as the block below it. So if I were to channel here, it would get rid of these blocks in addition to this floor. Versus if I just mine this floor here still would exist. I'll show you what I mean very shortly. So I'm going to dig here. I'm going to dig this out. I'm going to resume these dwarfs, because of the settings we have in Lazy New Pack, automatically do that. Give me another second here. Sorry about that, I've got a little bit of a cold. So as you can see, these dwarves have automatically set the layer preferences, which I'll go over in just another minute after I'm done explaining the set levels. So you can see this is dug out. This set level is dug out. And these floors are still intact. Notice how this is empty space, this is just a floor. And here is another floor. So if we say take these tiles here, these two here, and we designate channel. So earlier, what I did was hit D for designate, D for designate, and D for mine. And you can either click, or you can use a cursor, like I did. Use the arrow key cursor and hit enter. And so it's blinking here and my cursor's here, and when I hit enter, it will set the whole thing to be dug out. To get rid of something, to get rid of the designation so it won't be mine, you can hit X for remove designation here, X. And again, you can either click, or you can do sort of the long select, which is useful especially when you use the shift keys, because you're able to designate every, you're able to flip through 10 tiles very quickly. So again, if we go to the upper level, and we're going to choose H for channel, we want to channel these layers here. We're going to channel here, here, and here. One more second. Oh man, a glass of water very soon. And so we're going to have our dwarfs do this one. You can see these have become upward slopes. So what happened was the miners removed this material and the material below it, and it was left in the form of an upward slope. Upward slopes allow you to climb up the slopes to the Z levels either above or below. Staircases also allow for that. So we've got Gabbro down here. That's good, useful to know. Yeah, you can go up or down. To set labors, we're going to go again into view units, and we're going to go over to Uristmic Expedition Leader here, Uzal Avazular. And to set someone so he does a certain type of work, we're going to go for the G is generation, I is inventory, P is preference. I'm not sure what W and Z are yet. This game is very detailed. You can hit P for preference, and here's some military information we'll go over a little bit later. E is for work animals, and then L for labor. In here, you can navigate this menu using the plus and minus keys, and you can see various things like mining. Mining is enabled on him, and that is why he went and helped mine. If mining was disabled, he wouldn't do that. Some of the ones have sub-menus, which you go backwards and forwards with the escape key. If at any time you're stuck in a menu like this, you can just hit the escape key, and it will bring you as far back. When you hit escape in the main menu, you're able to save your game here. This menu is navigated with the arrow keys. It's a little bit inconsistent between menus, so if the arrow keys aren't working, just moving your cursor around, the plus and minus keys should work. So I think that's all for this episode. Next episode, hopefully we'll be able to get into a little bit of gameplay and a little bit more strategy. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and that's it for episode 2 of Dwarf Fortress, and so can you.